Hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington.
First of all, thank you all for being here. My name is Rachel Harrison. I'm the adult programming coordinator. Kathryn Kauffman. Ms. Kathryn Kauffman, all the way from Lexington, joining us here tonight.
My name is Kathryn Kauffman, and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to my every Monday night show. Thanks for joining me this evening. Let's do some shout outs to Joshua, Amber, Kathleen, Ricky, Melissa, Yasmin, Melissa Begley. Big kiss to you and my favorite cat, Miss Cleo, and Rhonda. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hey to all you guys over here on Instagram. I put a little fairy dust on myself this evening to spice things up. We'll see how that records and how it looks. Hey to Frank and Michael. So if you like these Monday night shows, go ahead and hit that share button. And if you want to see more, hit the follow and see first on notifications. All of the past shows from Monday night go on my YouTube channel, and I'll leave a link to that playlist in the comments section when we get done. So if you want to watch past shows like Ghosts and Spirits, Life After Death, Doppelgangers, Ghosts, all that kind of stuff, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can watch all the past episodes because there's a lot of really good information and a lot of good shows there for you. Let's see. Hey to Felicia, Janice, James, Rhonda, Nancy, and Chris. Thanks for joining us. So tonight, our topic is when hell is coming for you. Okay, so what do we mean by hell? So first, let's go over what hell is exactly. And it's a place. It can be either a place or a state of being. And the state of being is what I'm more concerned with for you guys. The state of being is like misery, torment, a place of turmoil or destruction, an extremely unpleasant or often inescapable situation. How many times have we found ourselves in this type of hellish state? Hey to Ricky, thanks for joining me. Good to see you, guy. Stacy, special shout out to Linda Tipton up in Frankfurt. Big kiss to you and much love coming your way. Anita and Judy and Tiffany Arps, thanks for joining us. So a lot of people have hellish states of being, and a lot of periods in life can be literal hell. Okay, now of course there's the other meaning of hell, which is the realm in which the devil and demons are and condemned people suffer everlasting punishment. And often people use hell in placing a curse on somebody, like you go to hell. Okay, so the types of hell that we're dealing with tonight are more real to us and more literal. So these types of hell are, impending deaths or sudden deaths, illnesses that are sudden or known about, separations from you and your loved one, and that can be over a long period of time, or it can be sudden. The result is still that hellish state. It can also be a situation that you're put in that you cannot get out of, or people who seek to destroy us. They seek to bring us down. They seek to take all the joy and happiness out of our lives. And so I call these type of people destroyers of hope and joy. And I think sometimes, not always, but sometimes the reason these people do that is because they are often in a state of hell, and they want you to be there with them as well. Okay, so let me check for questions. If any of you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the comments. I will try to watch the feed and get to them as soon as I can. Shout out to those of you on my professional page, Kathryn Kauffman, Psychic Medium. If you want to join the live chat, hit the link on that page there. It will take you over to this page, which is where the chat is happening. And so if you just want to hang out and watch, just feel free to hang out there on the professional page and watch. Hey to Anita, Judy, Carol, Beth, Rolando, Jenny, Lauren, Judy, Janice, Tom, Carrie, and Tara. I hope you guys had a good holiday. We're all back. We're feeling refreshed. And so I figured it was a good time to face hell for some of us. So, okay, so Destroyers of Hope and Joy, we had just gone over that. And some of those people wish to have you join their hell, and that's why they try and pull you into it. So they want you there as well. Now, here's another type of person. And so this type of person just seeks to destroy for their own gratification. And so in life, we're responsible as humans to evolve, okay? Now, a lot of people don't want to evolve. They actually devolve or retreat backward in evolution. And these people become more demonic. And so they are entrained to that demonic influence and that demonic energy. And so what they do is they search, it's like search and destroy for them. And they constantly are looking for people that they can bring down or people that they can destroy. And often the root of this is some underlying jealousy. Hey to Jenny Klein, Jessica, David, Karen, thanks for joining us this evening. So these are the different types or states of hell that you can be in. Now, most of us are going to be faced with death and illness are the two most common occurring states of hell that we have to deal with. Now, there are things like when I say hell is coming, when you know somebody is getting older and you know that pretty soon they're going to pass away, you know that that is a state of hell that is coming to you, but it hasn't happened yet. Now, you may try to repress this, you may try to deny it, but it is still going to happen. And for us personally, as we age, as we get older, we know that states of hell are coming because we know that death and illness is coming to us. And how are we facing that? That's the crux of what we're going to go over tonight. Be sure if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. So, hey, Tara Wheeler, thanks for joining us. I hope you guys are snug up there in Cincinnati. Tom says, I'm not making fun, seriously. If hell came for me, I probably would go to McCarthy's and hide out. That's my plan. All right, Tom, we'll meet at McCarthy's. I love that. I love McCarthy's, and I will, if hell is coming, let's meet there. In fact, for tonight's episode, David fixed me a nice, really tasty martini, so I will be imbibing in this while we're talking about the seriousness. So let me just grab a little sip. So Melissa says, are you able to defeat ever so talented destroyers? Sometimes yes, Melissa, sometimes no, because if I hate to say this, but if they're hell-bent on destroying you, the best thing to do with someone like that is maybe distraction and redirection into a different area. That's your best hope for a demonic destroyer. We'll just call them demonic destroyers. Okay, so hell for us in this dimension is a state of existence or living condition. It can be temporary, it can be permanent, or it can be undetermined, because many times we're caught up in stuff and we don't know, is it going to end tomorrow? Is it ever going to end? Am I ever going to see peace again? It's undetermined, and I think that may be the worst state, because you have that glimmer of hope that you may be able to get out of it, but you don't know for sure. And so you're just like, it compounds things. It makes things even worse. So a lot of these situations are impending. So we try not to think about them. We can repress them. We can deny them. What we're doing with that is not really coping with the reality of the situation. Yes, I'm going to get ill. Yes, I'm going to die. Is everything prepared? Do I know what I'm going to do when that situation happens? So that's what we're talking about tonight. And I feel like this is going to be more than a two-part series on this. So now on the demonic destroyers, on those people that seek to destroy us, you have to have the realization that you can't bargain with this person, because they are out to destroy and they're seeking to destroy something, and you can't bargain or reason with that. So the realization is you can't please everyone. No matter what you do, there are going to be people that hate you and want to destroy you, and you cannot have control over this. Reacting to this type of person instead of accepting it and grappling with trying to change their minds, that's like the worst thing, is to engage with them and try to grapple with them and to change their mind, because that gives them more leverage to destroy with. So like I was saying, the best thing for that type of person is distraction and redirection. And that may work or it may not. So Melissa says distraction and diversion versus psychic vampire. Psychic vampires are a little bit actually better than encountering a demonic destroyer. Because Melissa, you can protect yourself from a psychic vampire. Remember from our past episode, and we had a two-part series on psychic vampires, and if you want to go back and watch that, it's going to be on the playlist that I drop in the comments for my YouTube channel. But one of the protective factors was this, using this near the solar plexus, okay, as a protective mechanism to shield against psychic vampires. So yes, at least you can shield against psychic vampires and use psychic protection. But a demonic destroyer, or those people that are destroyers, you can't really do anything against those type of people. Now, either hell is coming for you or it's here, and it's happening now. Okay, so the first part of that, and we're going to go through this step by step on all the different parts of how hell comes, how you react, what you do during this situation. So the first thing is that realization and that sinking feeling that you have when hell happens. When something happens and you just, that sinking pit of your stomach feeling as everything drops down. Okay, and you realize hell has caught up with you, or it's just happened. Okay, now if you see hell coming, and that can be somebody who you know is going to pass away, somebody who you know you're going to lose, somebody who is just been diagnosed with illness, severe life-threatening illness, you have time for this preparation part. But if hell is already here, we'll go through that too. So if you have time and it's just caught up with you, or it's just happened, planning and forethought may prevent things from going wrong. So if you see you have a little bit of time to prepare, You need to really think about the situation and go over mentally possible options that would produce better decisions on how to handle the event. Because forethought and thinking about it early, you're not influenced by all of the emotions and all the panic that's happening when it arrives or when it happens. So you're not influenced by these things. So it is, if you can, face it, go ahead and think through all of the things that are going to happen, how you're going to respond, what you're going to say, what your decisions are going to be. Run over those things several times so that when it happens, you already have an established pathway of thought to go to, okay? And you can be rest assured that you're making a solid logical decision and you're not deciding from fear and panic, okay? So, but you know, sometimes we don't have that time to do that. So hey to Natalie, she says we have to stop meeting like this. No, we don't, Natalie. We need to continue to meet like this. Hey to Nicolay and Darlene Sturgill, special shout out to you. Thanks for joining us. Hey to all you guys over here on Instagram. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hope you're enjoying content. So let's see. Now, if you don't have time to plan out a reaction, the best path through the storm to prevent panic from taking over. Because, you know, when you get that call that says, hey, so-and-so was just in an accident, you know, they're on the verge of dying, and you know that it's probably going to turn out bad, that panic just washes over you. You're not in a good, even place to drive. So what are you going to do in that situation? Because we haven't had time to think things out. We haven't had time to plan out a decision. The best that you can do in that particular situation is to keep yourself grounded and as focused as possible. Now, the way to do that is to keep your mind on deep breathing, okay? And you're going to do grounding techniques, okay? Grounding techniques in these type of situations, you're going to rub your arms because that tactile stimuli or your hands keeps your focus on the here and now so that you don't get locked into that extraneous panic, okay? You can also just feel and focus on the material of your clothes, okay? That's going to keep your focus in the here and now and not out there in the panic. Another thing that you can do is go to the bathroom, splash water on your face. How many times have we seen people do this in the movies? There's a reason behind that, okay? It works. Also, take cold sips of water or sips of hot tea. If you're in a waiting room, walk outside frequently and really inhale the fresh air to try to keep yourself grounded and to keep the fear from taking over. Let me check for questions really quick because I see some stuff going on here. Tom says, you're right. You can never win with some people. Absolutely. You can only deal with them at best. Hell is on my heels lately. Every day is a battle lately. I appreciate this. Well, Tom, you're going to have to tune in probably next week too, because this is a lot of material to cover and it's going to keep going. Hey to Margaret and Arbitria. Let's see. Hey to Nancy, Larry, and thanks for joining us this evening. Okay, so if you're in the thralls of panic, try to stay grounded. Feel of anything you can, mostly material, you know, rub your head, splash water on your face, do things that are tactile so that you stay in the here and now and you stay focused enough to deal with the situation. Not succumbing to panic is one of the hardest things that we have to do in this situation. Don't make any reaction or any decision at this time unless they're, they were carefully planned out prior. Now, sometimes this isn't realistic. Realize that you're in a state of panic. I want you to call somebody and ask them what they think. If you have to make a decision, call a touchstone in your life, ask them for advice, and then listen. Don't shut them out because you're in a state of panic. Remember, they're not. They're thinking logically, and it's going to be somebody you trust that you call. So listen to their advice. Now, however, the emotional excess that you're going through, once it needs to be removed, and you need to have made it through the worst part before you try to remove it. This is going to be hard for some people, but you need to set aside some quiet time. If you are sitting in a waiting room, you're with somebody, you don't know what's going to happen, you may not be able to leave to do this. You may be able just to go to the bathroom and release some of this. But you need to allow some time for your personal self to release this emotional trauma that you're experiencing. Even now, let's say you have time to set aside to do that. It's best to do this in a certain area, not in a waiting room or in a bathroom, and I'll explain why. But the worst thing that you could do in this situation is to repress the emotions that your mind is trying to process, okay? That is the worst thing that you could do. So you need to try to be really totally alone when you release these emotions. Don't call a friend and release all of this stuff on them. We know now that emotions and feelings affect physically other people, and we're going to have a show on that as well. I will present that to you and the scientific evidence behind it. But we know this to be a fact, that the emotions and the traumas that you're going through do affect other people's energy fields, and it affects their emotions as well. So you really need to be alone when you're releasing these emotions, so that anybody who may be empathic or sensitive is not going to pick up those energies and absorb them. So if you can use some pink Himalayan salt to ground out these emotions that you're releasing. So I would suggest getting just a big chunk of it and either holding it or putting it on top of your chest while you're trying to release these type of emotions. This will prevent also the energies from being imprinted in the environment where you're at. Now, I have done a lot of house walkthroughs, and I can tell you, I know exactly what room that the inhabitants that lived there went to cry and release emotions. It was just, it's always very heavily saturated with sadness, and those negative emotions are like imprinted in that area, and that doesn't go away. So try to prevent that from happening in your home. Use that pink Himalayan salt when you're releasing those emotions. It's going to be grounded and trapped by the salt, and then you can go ahead and ground that salt out or cleanse that salt afterwards. So one of the best grounding and detoxing environments that you can do this is like a park or a natural area with trees and grasses. Now, this isn't always an option, like in the middle of winter if the weather's bad or whatever. So that's why we use the pink Himalayan salt, because you don't want to imprint that in your home. And that can be another reason why people have difficulty selling their properties, is because traumatic arguments, crying, stress, emotions have all been imprinted on the environment. Okay, so other things that you can do is to use crystals and gemstones for, detoxing and releasing these negative emotions. Now, so I have some examples here to show you. So the gemstones that you want to carry or work with are black obsidian, onyx, black tourmaline, and jet. And what these do is they work to ground the energies around you and prevent them from contacting with other people that are close proximity to you. So after you use these gemstones, you want to be sure to cleanse them really well after you've released those emotions. Now, to cleanse the gemstones, all you're going to do is place them on the earth. You can do that, just place them out back in your backyard overnight. The energies will just naturally seep right out of those, and they'll be good to go the next morning. So let's take a look at a few of these. This is black obsidian. And one of the reasons why we use these to ground out a lot of negative energy is all energies I would say not all, but most energies are types of light, and light is absorbed by black because black is the absence of light. And so these stones absorb the energy, or absorb the light. And so this is black obsidian. Let me show it over here to Instagram. And so this would be one of the stones that you can use to absorb that light or absorb that negative force. Okay. I don't have a black tourmaline, but I have a really dark brown one. And so this can be used as well. It's a really good gemstone. You can use a brown one. Black is even better, but a lot of the black tourmalines are not as polished as this particular piece, and they kind of fracture or splinter easily, but I really love the polished pieces of this. This is a piece of jet, and jet is fossilized wood, and it's extremely light and easy to carry in the pocket. So this is a piece of jet. Now jet can become magnetized as well, and jet is one of the things that Tibetan monks have used for 3,000 years in combating negativity and evil. So this is really, really good to use. Absolutely wonderful to use. Okay, so again, to cleanse these stones, you're simply going to take them and either get a bowl of dirt or put them out in the yard overnight, and they will cleanse up very well and be good to go the next morning. Now, for detoxing emotions, you're going to use either rose quartz or blue calcite, and I have examples of those. The rose quartz is right here. This one is extremely light, and so it almost looks white. It doesn't even look pink, but if you were here, you would be able to see that this is a very blush pink. Now, this is one I use for mediumships. And what I usually do with this, if I'm doing a mediumship that's extremely traumatic and high emotional, I will have my client hold this stone during the mediumship when we're talking about very emotional and traumatic subjects. Okay, that way they have this to connect with, and they can go ahead and start detoxing the negative emotions that they may be feeling, some of the overwhelming stuff. Sharon says, I love rose quartz. Absolutely, Sharon. Tara asks, will burning sage help clear negative imprints in your house? Yes, absolutely, Tara. It sure will. Now saging is a mild, kind of one of the milder ways of removing negative imprints. And so what you have to look at, Tara, is how long has the imprint been there? How heavy is it? Because you may have to sage more than once, or you may have to sage and use another adjunct to that to remove that negative imprint, because it may be that the negative imprint has been there for so long and is so embedded that you have to use more than one technique to remove that. So that's the rose quartz. The blue calcite is one of my favorite ones to use, especially for any kind of anxiety disorders, things like that. Calming, it's really good for calming. but it's also good to detox these negative emotions. And it has a really waxy feel to it. And that's one of the things about calcite. Calcite always has this kind of a waxy feel to it. So you can pretty well pick it out from other stones. So you want to carry these or meditate with them. Keep it in your pocket or your purse, and be sure to cleanse them every night to make sure that they're going to work effectively for you the next day. Let's say that you're sitting in a hospital waiting room day after day after day to figure out what's going to go on with your loved one, and you're in a constant state of turmoil. This would be one of the best things for you to get and to keep with you in that waiting room in your purse. And so every now and then, and you know, the grounding techniques that you're going to do, every now and then pick that up, touch it, think about the calming influence, feel of that waxiness to it, and try to entrain your energy to the calming nature of the gemstones. So Sharon says, can I save mirrors? I have an old one that I bought that has seen a whole bunch of negativity. Sharon, all you have to do with that is to clean that with fresh lemon juice and spring water, not pipe water, but get fresh spring water from a spring. Mix that with fresh lemon juice, get a sponge or a rag, wipe that mirror down with it, and then leave it there for 1 week. Use a singing bowl to put a vibration on that, a positive energy, and you won't have to worry about that mirror having a negative imprint. So Sharon says she needs that blue one. It's blue calcite. So for any of you that are interested in these gemstones and you want to get some for your private collection, if hell hasn't come for you yet and you have time, you need to get these now so that you don't have to scramble for them later, okay? One of the best ones to use is honey calcite for repeated grounding and ongoing stress. If you're having to go through hell every single day, carry this in your pocket or your purse. You can use this during the panic phase when you need to touch something to stay grounded. So what you can do is frequently slip your hand down in your pocket or your purse and feel of that waxy, cool nature of the gemstone. The honey color is very soothing and calming. Again, make sure you ground these at the end of the day so that they work well for you each day. Now, we're come to the end, and we're gonna find out what's for dinner, David. What are you cooking tonight?
Well, it's no secret that I love German food. So tonight we're going to have knockwurst, weisswurst, kraut, and hot German potato salad with bacon and dill, plenty of fresh dill chopped up in there, and toasted caraway seeds.
Mm.
Now, don't have any beer, so you're going to have to.
Well, I'll just do with my martini.
And I'll be having a glass of red wine.
That sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we come to the end for this evening. Let's go over, I want to let you guys know what's going to be on the next episode. So next Monday night, what we're going to go over is, it's several things. Bracing for the storm, putting yourself on the shelf, developing a strategy, rising to the occasion, coping mechanisms employed, resolution on ongoing hell, recovery, preventing depression, restoring your life, and finding peace if that's possible. So let's see. Melissa says, Crystal Crazy, ever so spectacular business to purchase crystals. Yes, I want to do a shout out to Barbara Bacon and Crystal Crazy Shop. That's where I refer all my clients to for their crystal needs. The crystals have such wonderful energies there. And you can't go wrong with the specimens that you get at Barbara Bacon's shop. And I will definitely leave a link to that in the comments for you guys so that you can message her and go out and get some crystals that have such wonderful good energy. Again, go ahead and share this episode. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. And I hope that this little bit has kind of helped you brace for hell when it's coming, because, you know, it's all going to come. It's going to come for us sometime, some way, somehow. And we need to manage this in the best way possible. Again, these shows are strictly self-help for you guys and me so that we can manage this thing we call life. And I will see you next Monday night with episode number 2. And if you want to watch past episodes, I'll leave a link to my YouTube channel in the comments. Thanks for watching, you guys. I do appreciate all of you. Kisses from Kentucky. And I will see you next Monday night. Bye now.